Throughout Southern history, the relationship between whites and blacks have shaped Southern culture and politics. W.J. Cash addresses Southern race relations in his book, The Mind of the South, which was published in 1941. In his book, Cash coined terms still used today. He brought up the Proto-Dorian Bond, which is a bond between all whites, regardless of class, and a common overriding commitment to white supremacy. At the time Cash wrote about the Proto-Dorian Bond, it was indeed the case in the South. Since the Reconstruction, white Southerners tended to vote with those of the same race over those who shared the same economic situation, purely because of color. At the time, the white South was solidly Democratic because Southerners correlated the Democratic Party with white supremacy. In 1948, Hubert Humphrey suggested that the Democratic Party support civil rights. This enraged white Southern Democrats. They formed a new party called the Dixiecrats and nominated Strom Thurmond, a known racist, to be their candidate. When Southern whites, both rich and poor, severed ties with the Democratic Party over civil rights, they abandoned all the programs for the poor that the party offered. With this example, it is obvious that Cash's Proto-Dorian Bond was indeed relevant in the South in the 1940s, but is it still the case today? To help answer this question, I've used data from the 2012 presidential election between Barack Obama and Mitt Romney. When Barack Obama was re-elected in 2012, it was another victory for the Democratic Party. After gathering data, analysts have found a clear racial and income gap in Southern states as it relates to voting patterns. In Alabama, for example, 95% of African Americans voted Democratic, while 84% of whites voted Republican. In the case of income, those who made less than $50,000 a year had a higher percentage of votes for the Democratic Party than those who made more than $50,000 a year. African Americans make up only 28% of Alabama's population, a state in which 47% of the population makes under $50,000 a year. The data shows similar results in other southern states, such as Mississippi, where 96% of African Americans and 54% of those making under $50,000 per year voted Democratic. With this information, it can be inferred that those 45% from Alabama and 54% from Mississippi of lower socioeconomic standing who voted for Obama were a combination of both blacks and whites alike. These two examples from deeply southern states shows that the Proto-Dorian Bond that whites once intensely shared with one another is weakening throughout the South. Although the racial bond that Cash addresses is still very relevant in the South, more and more Southern whites are very slowly but surely accepting those who share their same socioeconomic situation, regardless of race.